Hi guys, welcome back to the TheFitRefresh. My name is Sarah Martinez. I am a weight loss specialist and health coach. I use the 3 pillars of health and wellness, fitness, nutrition, and motivation to help my clients achieve a healthy body while still enjoying what makes them happy. Every week I do a new topic and it usually covers one of those 3 pillars. This week it's going to be about motivation and a little bit of nutrition. It's 5 reasons the food you eat might be killing your motivation. Let's go. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and of course like this video, especially if you like it. That way I know that I'm giving you content that you actually appreciate and need and use, and I can make more of it. Today's topic, 5 reasons food is killing your motivation. Food plays such a huge impact on how you're feeling and how your body can process information. So why wouldn't it include how you stay motivated? We're constantly worried about how to find external factors to motivate us. So we're like, oh, I need that inspirational quote, or I need that piece of music that's going to encourage me, or that picture of that person that inspires me. All of that stuff is great and totally viable. However, if you don't think about what's going on inside and how that is promoting it, then you're missing half the battle. So obviously, we take medicine to help cure illnesses, to boost our, take care of depression or anxiety. So we're ingesting something that is man-made to affect us and affect our brain, affect how we're feeling. So how does the food we eat, how is that not supposed to do the same thing? So when you're bringing food into your body, I want you to start to think of your food as medicine, as this thing that's going to help boost your metabolism, boost your feelings of goodness, your energy, all of these things. And of course, all of that feeds into how well you stay motivated. So like I said, I've got 5 reasons that food might be affecting your motivation, and we're going to get started with number 1. The first way food may be affecting your motivation is that you're not eating enough food. I know this sounds weird. You probably didn't expect me to say that, though, we will talk a little bit about weight loss today. But a lot of the big reasons that people think, one of the big things that people do to achieve weight loss is they think, oh, I'm just not going to eat as much, right? That'll help. Theoretically, if you're not bringing in calories, you're not going to gain weight, right? So it makes sense. However, the lack of food in your body is going to inhibit how your body feels, how your brain feels, and how your body functions. You can think of food as fuel. So obviously when your tank is getting low, your car, will start to slow down and then eventually stop. Can't go anymore. Well, food is the same thing for our bodies, right? Food is going to fuel us, keep us full of energy, and keep us moving forward. So when you are not getting enough food, you're not getting enough nutrients, your body will start to exhibit signs of depression, lack of focus, lethargic feelings, tiredness. And of course, how are you going to stay motivated if you do not have the right power in your body to promote what you're trying to do? So a very important factor here, do not starve yourself. Always make sure that you're trying to eat, gradually throughout the day. In an ideal world, you wouldn't want to feel too full and you don't want to feel too starving either. You want to find that middle place in between. So keeping yourself satiated throughout the day. And then this also, of course, brings us to our next topic. You're eating too many sugary items. So our body loves glucose. Our body uses glucose immediately as energy. So when you have something that has a lot of sugar in it, your body does want to absorb it, take it and use it. The problem is it's not very satiating. So though you might get an immediate boost from the food, the sugary food you're eating, or the drink you had or whatever, it's going to give you that boost. But because it doesn't satiate you for very long, you're going to crash hard and quickly. So even though you've had some food, you've done your job, then you will still find yourself probably getting into something and then not having the motivation to finish it. So staying away from the sugary items, trying to focus more on complex carbs. Yeah, like sweet potato, brown rice. If you're going to have something that you want to help sustain you, to give you the energy you actually need to produce for whatever action you're asking your body to take, definitely going for a complex carb. Stay away from sugary items. The other thing that sugary items do is it gives you a brain boost, right? So you have this immediate feeling of happiness and serotonin and all the stuff's being released in your body. And then again, you're going to crave that once that crash happens. So it puts you into a downward spiral. Couldn't say that. Oh yeah. The third reason, you eat too much too fast. All right. We are in a go society right now, right? We have 1,000 things to do, not enough time to do it all in. So we get ourselves into the trap of, like I said 2 numbers ago, either not eating enough, starving ourselves, or we eat very quickly. So when you eat food has to come down into your stomach, and then your stomach sends signals to your brain saying, hey, I'm full, I don't need anything else. Then the brain goes, oh, stop eating, I'm full, you shouldn't eat anymore, and then sends it back to the stomach, and they communicate that way. Well, if you eat too much too fast, your stomach does not have time to communicate with your brain to tell you that you're full. So the overeating factor, eating too many calories too fast, of course, is going to make you feel depressed. It's going to make you feel lethargic. It's also, obviously it's going to make you lack motivation. It also may make you have feelings of depression because you realize that you've had too much, and so the feeling of knowing that you overindulged can also be depressing as well and give you that like, why do I even try feeling. So don't eat too much too fast. So find ways to slow yourself down. Maybe it's take 2 bites, sit, drink some water. Maybe you have to get yourself on a plan to be able to slow yourself down. Maybe you're a person that has to put a timer in front of you and make sure that you don't finish sooner than 30 minutes. Whatever it is, find your way to get yourself to slow down while you eat. Make it an event, right? Make it an event. Have people over, well, when we can, and enjoy the atmosphere and try to slow your eating habits down to help prevent that type of overeating. This is a big one, guys. Too many processed foods. So there's a lot of things happening here when we have too much processed foods. The first one is you typically, if you're eating processed foods, you're eating higher calories. Most likely that means that you're having too high of a caloric intake and probably are going to be gaining weight. As we gain weight, there's nothing more depressing and gives you lack of motivation than feeling like you're failing and falling behind. So getting rid of those processed foods will help at least decrease calories, make you feel better about your choices. The second thing to think about with processed foods is that your body doesn't necessarily recognize the nutrients that it's supposed to get. A lot of the processed foods are made to last longer, have a very strong flavor, but it's not necessarily stuff that your body needs to survive. So when it's overworking to try to break this stuff down that it just doesn't even need or know, that process can create feelings of depression, can create feelings of lack of motivation, all of these things that we're trying to promote. So you know what? Have a donut every once in a while. I promote that. But if you notice that 80% of your daily intake of food is coming out of a package or it's processed in some way, shape, or form, that might be a huge factor of why you are having a lack of motivation and why it's hard to stay focused. So check your processed foods. Try to eat more whole foods, grains, vegetables, lean meats. All of these items are going to have the nutrients in it that are going to help boost your metabolism, boost your feel-gooders. I don't know if that's refers to anything specific, but it's going to make you feel better. Now, before I go to this last one, I just want you to know that I love you. And for some of you, you're going to be mad. And some of you are going to be like, I knew it. But I just want you to be prepared that the last one on this list is a doozy. All right? Number 5, the 5th thing that might be affecting your overall mood, overusing caffeine. I know, I'm sorry. You're like, not my coffee, girl. Listen, okay. Coffee can be very effective, and coffee on its own, without all the added sugars and sweets and all that, it's actually been proven to be quite good for you. Having a cup of coffee a day helps to open up blood vessels, keep you, motivated, and get that like nice big push of adrenaline through your body to get you moving. So, it has been shown by studies that caffeine can be very effective for nutrition. That being said, who has just 1 cup a day? Anybody? Maybe some of you. It's possible. If you overuse caffeine, it's going to start to have some negative drawbacks. And those drawbacks are going to make you have lack of proper sleep. Those drawbacks are going to also overproduce adrenaline. So when you drink caffeine is put into your body, you ignite the fight or flight feeling and receptors in your body or in your brain. So when that happens, the reason why you have the energy is because your body is now trying to get something done quickly. getting something done quickly doesn't necessarily mean you're getting it done right? So you might finish something and not be able to actually complete it to its full ability. The other thing, of course, on this too is the crash, right? So you have caffeine, you feel super energetic, you're doing it, and then you crash hard. And that crash hard is gonna, hinder your motivation. Let's look at it this way. If you have a bunch of coffee at the beginning of the day and your whole goal is that you're gonna work out when you get off of work, but you had 7 cups of coffee at work and you're about to get off and now you're starting to crash, right? How are you going to have the motivation to get yourself to the gym at that point, And if you down another cup of coffee to get yourself that motivated, think about how that's going to affect your sleep. So coffee and caffeine has a half-life to your body. So if you have caffeine at 8 a.m. By 8 p.m., so every 6 hours, you'll diminish a little bit more caffeine from your body. So by 8 p.m., you still have 25% caffeine in your body. So suppose you have another cup of coffee at 6 p.m. Guess what? 6 a.m., between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., your body is still functioning through and pushing through that caffeine. So it's going to make your sleep not as solid, and all of these things are going to make it harder to wake up in the morning. So it's just this big cycle that happens. So I'm not saying don't drink the coffee. I'm not saying don't have the caffeine. But what I'm saying is use it appropriately so that it can really help you the way that it should, rather than overusing it and finding yourself constantly wondering why you can't get yourself to do something. And we put all these failures on other aspects without kind of examining the things we can do right now that are simpler ways to solve the issue. I know. Number 5 was a doozy. You weren't prepared for it, but I still gave it to you. Sorry. Of course, I wouldn't leave you with 5 things that are killing your motivation without giving you something that might help your motivation. So here it is. Foods that can help boost motivation. So obviously all the things we talked about, you want to try to make sure you're eating consistently. You want to make sure that you're not overeating. You want to make sure that you are not drinking too much caffeine and all the things we talked about before. But on top of that, try to incorporate some of these foods in your life. Vitamin B6 is supposed to help with mood. It's supposed to help with energy production and keep levels of depression low and anxiety low. Things you can find by vitamin B6 in tuna, salmon, nuts, chickpeas. I mean, there's a whole bunch. Or you could even take B6 supplements if you know you're not getting enough in your life. Another great one, leafy greens. I bet you could have guessed it. You're like, leafy greens solve everything. They kind of do. So get them in your life, right? So spinach, kale. Actually, kale's a little farther on this list as well because kale actually has amino acids that actually help with boosting mood. And again, you can kind of see the theme here of what these foods can do for you. Green tea is a great supplement for coffee or any other. Now, it still has caffeine in it, but it's more of an all-natural source of caffeine. So because of that, your body just kind of reacts to it a little bit differently. Strawberries, the skin of the eggplant is supposed to be very good for boosting mood and helping with anxiety or depression. And then last but not least, guys, you need to make sure you get water in your life. And I know you're like, I know, I gotta drink water, whatever. Guys, your body is 70 to 75% water. If you are not drinking enough to help supply that is obviously going to make you feel dehydrated, especially as we're getting into the summer. Dehydrated, low on energy, and, not ready to do what you want your body to do. Think of yourself as the plant, and you've got to water yourself or you're going to wilt, right? So let's hit the takeaway here. So my big takeaway that I really want you to realize from our entire conversation is that motivation is focused on a couple of big things, right? Positivity and energy and focus. The more you have this I can do it attitude, you're ready to do it, you're up and moving, and you have the energy to supply it, the more you're going to get done and the more you're going to accomplish when it comes to motivation to achieve your goals. So, of course, eating foods that are going to promote that are going to help boost that, make you feel great, and help support the lifestyle that you're trying to lead. So let these foods, these things you put in your body on a regular basis, let them elevate you. If you feel heavy, if you feel like it's not good for you, you feel sick the next day, these are signs your body's trying to tell you, these things are not good for me, I can't take them anymore. So start to incorporate some of those things, and then think of it like medicine, right? You just got to eat your spinach. All right? Just got to happen. Well, guys, of course, visit my website. Come talk to me, message me on social media. I am here to help you and guide you in the right direction. Again, it's all about finding the balance between your healthy and your happy life. That is where you're going to find happiness, and that is going to be something that's sustainable.